So, have I experienced racism at any one time during my travels to the developed countries? That's one of the questions that has been repeated in my inboxes, and I decided to come and address it here. So, I've traveled quite a bit in Europe. I have been to the United Kingdom, I've been to France, I've been to Belgium, I have been to the Netherlands. I have been to the United States of America and I went to 7 states. I have been to Asia, in particular United Arab Emirates. I have been to South Africa, in particular Cape Town and Joburg. And this is my experience in regards to racism. So at any one point when I traveled to these places, I did not go to the deeper, remote areas of these places. And I understand that's where, the bulk of racism still happens. I was in the cities where there are a lot of tourists, a lot of people from different, places in the world, different cultures coming together, and many people living together in harmony and being cordial with each other. So I cannot say that I experienced racism, the hardcore racism whatsoever. But again, I cannot say that it did not happen. There were some teeny tiny moments where I did indeed experience racism, but they were not very pronounced. They were not moments that threw me off my balance. They did not make my trip less enjoyable. They were just really small moments that you could ignore, and they were from people who I do not feel represent the rest of the people in these countries. It's just a few people that are just being mean and not nice to tourists. So I'll give you one or two examples of where I experienced this racism. One of them was in one of those shopping stores. I am not sure exactly, I do not remember exactly which one it was, but it was either TJ Maxx or Marshalls. So what happens in those stores, if you want to buy something like a pair of shoes or a handbag that is a little bit of higher value than the average product, they'll tie like a string to it. You can pull the string and check the bag out. You can pull the string as far back as possible and try on the shoes, but you cannot take out the shoes. And if you try to forcefully take them out, there's an alarm that will go off. So most of the times you have to call for one of the workers, and then you'll tell them you're interested in that product. They'll open up that product, take it to the reception, and then when it's time for you to pay, you say your name and then they'll give you that product. So I fell in love with a certain bag. Here, this is the bag. I loved it. I'm not sure where I got it, TJ Maxx or Marshalls. I really, really loved this bag. It's made in Romania with good quality leather. I've been carrying it since I left the USA last year, and it's indeed good quality. It was going for about maybe $60. I don't remember, but about $60, and I wanted it so bad. So I called for help, and the nearest lady was an old white lady. She was probably about 55 to 60. So I said, "Excuse me," and she refused to look at me, and I was white in her face. I said, "Excuse me, I need some help." She decided to just, go away. She did not talk to me. So there was another black lady who also worked in the store who saw my experience. So she came to me and said, "Hey, how are you? Do you need some help?" And I said, "Yes, I would like this bag, but it's tied up." She said, "No problem. I will untie it for you and take it to the reception. What's your name?" I said, "Daisy." She noted it down and she said, "No problem. When you go to the reception, to the counter where you pay, just say your name and you'll take it." Yeah, so I do believe that was real racism, because she was right in my face and I called her about 2 or 3 times and she just decided to continue walking, and somebody else saw what I was experiencing and came to help me. So yeah, but again, like I said, that was such a small incident and it did not throw me off balance. Another one was also similar to that, and that was in Netherlands. In Netherlands, I walked into a farm. I had a headache, and we had been walking all over Amsterdam, and I got a headache, I think not from too much heat and not drinking enough water because it was in the summer. And I asked this lady who was manning the pharmacy for paracetamol, and she refused to answer. I said, how can I get paracetamol, please? She refused to answer. I said, maybe she doesn't understand what paracetamol is. I said, acetaminophen. She refused to answer, and I had to walk out of the pharmacy. But then when the other white people came in, she talked to them. So I didn't understand why she did that. The third was with a mobile company. I don't remember what it's called, AT&T, something like that. The Americans would know it, something similar to that. So when you get out of the airport at John F. Kennedy, is that it? JFK, the airport in New York, we immediately wanted to switch SIM cards and get local SIM cards. So there's this big shop, you know, a mobile shop, I think it's AT&T, and we asked for help, and this lady was really rude. She said, read the instructions. So there were some instructions, you know, they are written there, and I don't remember what the instructions were, but it was instructions on, if you want this, do this. If you want this, do this. So we read the instructions, and they were not helpful to us because a friend had given us a phone, a mobile phone with a number, and we were trying to see how that can work for us. So she didn't want to listen to us. She said, read the instructions. If you don't find your answer, then I don't have it. But when these other people, some Asians and some white people came, she was talking to them really nicely, and I didn't understand why she did that to us. So yes, those are the few moments I remember of what I would term racism, but it did not throw me off balance. Like I said, it did not make me enjoy my trip less, and I do not feel that the actions of those people represent or the other people in these countries. So yeah, that's my experience with racism. If you like the information that I give on travel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and